Often on the job I'm asked, Vlad, what's the best hot water service for me? Now there are a couple of questions I ask that seem unrelated, but they are related. Things like, do you go away a lot on the weekends? And the reason why I ask that question is because water heaters, whether they be gas or electric, heat pumps or solar, are broken up into two basic categories. One heats the water instantaneously on demand, and the other type is known as a storage hot water service. Whether it be gas or electric, it has a big tank and it holds a certain amount of litres of hot water. Now, my preference, if you have natural gas on the street because it's very affordable, is an instantaneous gas hot water heater for a couple of reasons. The first one is that in the plumbing code in ASNZ 3500, a teenage child equates to twice the water consumption, hot water consumption, as an adult. So if you have two parents and two kids in the house and you're choosing a water heater, you don't choose a water heater for 4 people, you're choosing a water heater that supplies enough water for 6 people. And this is written in black ink on white paper. I'm not making it up, it's in the code. Secondly, if you have guests come over frequently or if you go away on the weekend, the benefit of a instantaneous gas hot water heater that doesn't store a certain amount of water is that it only heats water as you need it. When you go away on the weekend, it's not unnecessarily using any power or gas to keep a great big tank of hot water hot for someone who's gone away camping for the weekend. Also, when you get friends coming over and you're worried about water running out, and rather than coming up to them and saying, do you mind having a 2.5 minute shower each, otherwise we'll run out of hot water, you don't really have to enter that part of the conversation. You just say, stay in there for as long as you want. Now, if you're not sure if you have town gas or what's known as natural gas out in your street, it's quite easy to find out. Just ring your energy supplier and give them your address and they'll tell you whether gas is available in the street. So even if you don't have a gas meter connected to your house, that doesn't necessarily mean that you can't have it, and the cost to get it installed isn't a big one. If gas isn't available in your street, and if people ask me, they say, well, Vlad, I don't have natural gas in the street, what would you suggest? Bottled gas to an instantaneous heater or a form of electric storage water heater? I would still say at this point in time, cost-wise, it would still be cheaper to have an electric storage water heater. If the price of LPG were to go down and efficiency of instantaneous LPG water heaters were to go up, maybe that would change in the future, but at the moment I still see electric storage being ahead cost-wise. If, for example, when your house was built, the builder chose to put, with gas available obviously, if the builder chose to put a storage gas hot water unit in, which is basically a storage tank, but it's not heated up by an electric heater element, it's heated by a gas burner. In a lot of cases you would be able to, if you come to the point where that needs to be replaced, you could change and update to an instantaneous gas hot water heater depending on the size of the pipework that the builder chose to install. So it can be done, and that's definitely an option, and the cost works out similar, it's not too different. In conclusion, there are a few factors that come into choosing the best hot water service. It even comes down to whether you live in a single story house, a double story house. The location of the water heater, for example, comes into it as well. But every case is pretty much a case-by-case conclusion. So if you do have any questions, feel free to give me a call, or if you engage another plumber, that's fine, but just ask them the reason why they're suggesting the type of water heater to be replaced.